like I'm in Grand Theft Auto or something. My name is Arun Kumar, and I am the driver, and you're watching Driven Diary. This show is the documentation of my life as I build a billion-dollar auto repair business called Driven Auto Care. I started Driven Diary at the same time to document the entrepreneurial journey. This diary exists to show you all of the late nights, early mornings, big mistakes, the wins, the stressful situations, everything that goes on building a billion-dollar business. If that sounds interesting to you, please go ahead and click subscribe below so you don't miss our weekly uploads. With all that said, let's get to the video. Monday morning, and I'm in my happy place, question mark? Probably not really. I am doing Excel models and email with my legal pad to-do list next to me. It's been an interesting morning so far. It's 10:30, as you can see. I have been at the shop since 6:50 this morning. I slept in a little bit because I went to a car meet yesterday and left very quickly because of how not fun it was. It was interesting. It was at a shop in San Jose that does very high-end stuff, and so it was cool to see kind of how they do things there and what appearances they're trying to put on, if you ask me. But anyways, what interesting stuff has happened today? My E46 and my E36 photographs are done. The Bring a Trailer listings are in process. My E92 M3 listing was accepted by Cars and Bids. I'm gonna get a photo shoot done of that. I'm gonna sell that. I think I might even sell my 6-speed Passat. It's not worth anything. It's worth like $6,000, which is sad, but I think I need to just simplify a little bit. I need to simplify. I want some new cars. I don't actually like it that much. I have put a lot of money into that car. It'll be a huge loss. But I just don't want it. Yeah, I feel like if I get one and again, I'd get a better one. So I don't know. That one I'm still thinking about, but the other three I'm gonna ship out for sure. Hopefully get around 40 grand for three cars. No, for 50 grand. 50 grand is what I'm looking for, really. Fernando's first days today. New Fremont manager. He's come from corporate stores. He used to work for Pep Boys, and so it's interesting to see the type of questions he's asking. In some respects, he's looking to do things the way I want them done, and so he's asking a lot of very detailed questions. But it's questions where I'm just thinking, like, dude, just figure it out and do it the way you think is the best way to do it. And so it's a lot more freedom than he's probably used to, and I don't know if it's more freedom than I should be giving, but I had Mark come in and help because I have a ton of work to do today behind the desk. Yeah, so that's what happened there. And then the last thing I'll tell you about is this stupid Jeep Liberty. So let me show you. This Jeep out here wouldn't start this morning. And it was one of our loaners. And I don't really know what to do about that. We'll fix it, I guess. That's what I will do about that. But it's annoying. I promised a guy a loaner today, and I couldn't give it to him because it just wouldn't freaking start. So we pushed it right here. That car, this Land Rover, is a great reminder of situations that make this industry less fun to be in. She was extremely upset when I told her, hey, we fixed 2 of your coolant leaks and you have a third coolant leak. You have a Land Rover. That's going to happen. It's a 160,000 mile, 15-year-old Land Rover. But she was very unhappy with me when I told her that. And I went home not very happy on Thursday, but yeah, it's what it is. I went and watched my very first Driven Diary episode this morning, the one I put out like 3 months after taking over the Fremont shop. And it's recordings of the entire month of July. I took the shop over July 14th. There's so much fear and so many little problems in those videos that don't bother me today. And so I'm grateful for that. That's what I got out of that was, oh man, look at this really fearful guy who's less fearful today. And I'm grateful for that. So it's good to go back and watch that. If you don't, go watch old Driven Diary videos. They're quite educational. That's all for now. Tuesday morning, just finished up at the machine shop, and now I get to visit every single shop of ours. I've been in Fremont this morning. I get to go do a little tour, which I'm very happy to be doing. I'll update you when I get to San Ramon with these beautiful cylinder heads for an SLK 55 AMG. Pretty cool car. Dropped off Volvo S60R heads for him. That's all for now. Remember this room a few weeks ago? All the parts storage in here, tool storage, total mess. It's more like it. Lifts, functional. Wednesday morning, February 25th. Been here for an hour and a half. It's now 5 a.m. Lot going on this week. We had Fernando, the new manager of the Fremont shop, start on Monday, and I trained him for a couple hours, and then I observed that my patience was running low because I struggle with overthinking a lot when it comes to training. What do I mean by that? He asked me a lot of questions that were essentially, what would you like me to do in this situation? And I got frustrated because I don't have a prescriptive, here's what you should do for a lot of situations in the company. I want my teams to come equipped with critical thinking skills. However, Fernando is on the younger side, and he has worked pretty much exclusively for corporate shops. Like, he worked for Pep Boys before this, and he ran 2 Pep Boys locations. So that's cool. But his ability to critically think and come up with solutions on his own, I think that's a muscle that he hasn't used very much. And so I got quite impatient with the questions, and I just felt that it wasn't my best spot to be working with him, trying to train him up. So I told Mark, come train this guy. So Mark came. He's been working with him. Mark's having a lot of fun as a service advisor, and that meant that I was free to go visit all the other shops, which I did yesterday. I'm horrible at filming when it comes to being out and about and doing stuff, but you saw that I picked up some cylinder heads for a SLK 55 AMG, which is interesting. Brought those to San Ramon, dropped off Hamilton's Volvo S60R head in the machine shop, same machine shop picked up the SLK heads from. We're doing a lot of work with machine shops right now, a lot of big jobs with machine shops. We've got like 20 grand worth of head gasket type jobs outstanding right now. And yeah, so I had that machine shop exchange, went up to San Ramon, dropped off those heads, checked in with that shop. San Ramon's been painfully slow for about 4 months. And I hate it for John, the manager up there, because he is very efficient with getting cars through the shop with a relatively high hours per RO and gross profit per hour number. He just doesn't have enough work. And the techs up there are really strong too. And that shop was absolutely slammed busy from March till October when I let go of Alex. And I can't wait to see it get back there, but man, we really need to get it back there. I mean, the phone is just not ringing as it normally does up there. And if it's this lumpy and San Ramon is full of snowbirds, which I guess is a possibility, then we really have to capitalize on the summers where all the snowbirds are back in town. Snowbirds meaning people who go south for the winter and they don't want to deal with the cold weather of the Bay Area, so they go to the desert or something like that, Arizona or Southern California. or Florida. So that's frustrating. Then I visited Campbell, where we let go of a tech last week. He quit technically. And so that was annoying. That tech had only ever had 2 other jobs. He worked for Mercedes for 8 years and then Rivian for 2 years. I thought he was going to be high end. I thought he was going to be really focused on quality. I thought he was going to be solid. And he shows up to his first day not wearing a belt, 10 minutes late, dead phone. He had 2 phones. And then I said, what's the second phone for? And he said, oh, I have a mobile mechanic business also. I'm like, oh, okay. And then he didn't have a car. He bought the Passat loaner car off us that was burning a ton of oil. And I told him about that. And he bought it for $1,000. And he said, yeah, I'm going to double my money on this. And I was like, wait a minute. No, hang on. You don't have a car. You're supposed to use this as transportation. That's why I sold it to you cheap. You have a short commute. It'll burn oil. You can top up the oil. It's a cheap commuter. Just use it. And he's like, nope, I'm selling it, making money. It's like, well, okay, you have horrible ethical standards and a weird prioritization in your life, and I don't think you're going to last. And he lasted about a week after that. The other tech down there submitted a formal complaint against the guy we let go because the guy we let go tried to fight him in the lot. So that's chaos in Campbell. But Dylan is now down in Campbell. I think he likes it down there. He likes the shorter commute. It's a kind of lower volume shop, but bigger jobs, which he, being a former tech, he is adequately equipped to help out, given they only have 1 guy there right now. I made a job offer to a second tech for the Campbell shop last night. I sequestered myself away from my son and wife during dinner for about 20 minutes while I called the tech at 5:30 in the evening to make a job offer, and that's the reality of this business. So made that job offer. He accepted. I got to do a written offer letter for him this morning. What else? Then I went to San Jose, and you saw a little bit of a clip there. Kay is doing a really good job of cleaning out the shop. All the upstairs mezzanine we didn't really touch when we cleaned out over that first weekend of transformation that you saw, but Kay is coming in, emptying all that out, and you saw the very organized bottom floor parts and tools room that we have in that shop. They're getting busier, not all the way there yet, but we're running $150 a day budget on meta ads, getting visibility out there as much as possible, which I'm excited about. We got to continue to iterate on the ads to try to get people in. I think that's all I got for this morning. That's all for now. But wait, there's more. I lied. It's not the end of this morning. It's still Wednesday morning. I want to talk about this area here. So building the compound cost about 50 grand, and I'm sure it's been more than that, both in investments and inventory of merchandise that I've barely sold, and additional expenses that are ongoing, where technically Driven Auto Care still pays the rent on this place, but I am charging it back to myself and my consulting business that takes in the income for We Are Driven. We just started, accumulating some income from the Driven network, but it's $100 at a time. It's costly to acquire those customers through meta ads, so it's a work in progress. But I want to talk about what we got going on with the cars in here. So I think I briefly mentioned that I'm selling some cars, and the real reason for that is that I need to allocate more money back into the business. I cannot have this great collection of cars if I'm not funding them appropriately, and I don't want to let go of my Murcielago. So I'm letting go of a high volume of cars, which also are more neglected. The point is, I love this. I want a better one. I don't actually like this specific car that much. I liked the wheels that were on it, so I put these Vorsteiner wheels on this. I'm keeping the Apexes over there. But this, I'm getting a photo shoot done on tomorrow, and then it will go live on Cars and Bids. It's a double salvage title car, so I'm kind of impressed that they took it. So that's that one. This one's going on Bring a Trailer. I got to do underside photos and a walk around video of this car. That'll happen today. And then this one is also for sale. And you know this is a very nostalgic car for me, but it does not have a use here anymore. So I'm selling this one. I don't go to the track. I have no need for this. And the listing for this one's already on Bring a Trailer. Needs some work still, the listing, before it goes live, but it is up there. They've drafted a listing. I even thought about selling this, but it's a situation where this is worth probably $5,000, and I can't build another one like it for $5,000, and so I'd rather just keep this one. All the rest of these, I think I could buy again if I wanted to, or build better next time. But for now, it's just not worth keeping. So that's what's going on here. Driven Network is up to about 30 members. But I did start getting messages from people on Instagram basically saying, hey, I bought it and I never got anything. And I said, well, check your spam. Like, you got an email inviting you to join a Facebook group. Should have. The other people that have bought after you did, so maybe you put in your email wrong. We'll see. I also have people who I know who are DMing me saying, can I attend an event for free before I buy? And I'm like, no, it's $99, dude. Like, buy it. If you don't like it, you wasted $99. Like, holy shit. I don't think you're not gonna waste your time, man. Like, that's the thing. It's intentional networking. It's getting the right people in the room, and that's worth $99 just to have access to that, even if you use it once. So that's what's going on. I gotta go get the E46 today from San Ramon. I'm gonna go get it so that we can do an M3 photo shoot tomorrow with all these cars before I sell them. So we're gonna do a 4 generations of M3 photo shoot tomorrow. And then I'm getting the last session of my second tattoo sleeve tomorrow as well. So frankly, this is a little more spending than I would want to be doing, photo shoots and all detailing and tattoo and all that, given my current financial picture, but it's going to be worth it for the tattoo, not at all. But selling the cars, I need to spend money to get the money out. So, yeah. Painful, definitely painful. Coming up on the end of the month, plenty of money about to fly out of the bank account. Fortunately, we have a ton of carryover work right now that should leave this week in the next couple days. So hopefully it all gets done. That's all for now. Thursday morning, doing a M3 shoot before I sell 2 of these. So it was fun. People have told me I have the infinity stones of M3s, and I guess you could say that's the case, but getting to watch these photographer boys try to coordinate arranging these cars is quite entertaining. That's all for now. Second spot here. Got locked out of the E46, but got back into it, fortunately. Security guard was chill about it, so now we're at the Costco parking lot. I had a spicy day on the internet. We had a customer leave us a 1-star review in Fremont, and this is a customer who claimed that I didn't tell her the whole price when she approved a repair that we did for her last week. It's not true. I gave her the out-the-door price, and then she's mad that I didn't verbally itemize parts and labor, I think, is what she's mad about. But she seems to think that she's being charged $900 on top of the bill that she approved, which is not true. That's what she wrote, is basically that. Then she tells me, she puts in a review that Mark is rude, that we didn't help her, we were shady and all this. Fortunately, we have 324 5-star reviews in Fremont. And so I responded, and I wrote a very long and detailed response basically saying, this is a woman who lashed out at us because of her difficult financial situation and the fact that we were the bearers of bad news about her car. We did free work for her because of her bad financial situation. don't come to us for charity, but hey, hopefully you can see we're the good guys in this situation. We make sure you're never surprised by the price, and we make sure that if we do a repair, that it at least makes your car better, or you don't pay for it. So that's what I responded. I was happy about that. Meanwhile, I'm fighting with someone in Instagram comment world. Very entertaining stuff. What does that look like? Well, I have this video that's blown up on Instagram, like 80,000 views, and it says that car meets are an opportunity for you to network with people. Essentially, that's what it says. And this video is blowing up, and a lot of people agree with me, and a lot of people say he's ruining the car community because he's trying to make it about business. And to an extent, I understand that there are people who make it too much about business. They're not there to network and like get to know people. They're there to sell you something. There's a big difference. And I wasn't very clear in the video. It's a short form Instagram video, unsurprising. But this guy commented and he said, "You clearly don't know what a car meet is." And so I said, "Okay, what's a car meet?" And he said, "If I have to explain what a car meet is to a guy with Driven Auto in his name on Instagram, then you should just delete your page. And I'm not gonna waste my breath doing that." I was like, okay, dude, that was a freaking aggressive ass response to me asking you a simple question and trying to engage in some motherfucking discourse. But since you wanna go that route, enjoy hiding behind your private page with your no profile picture where I can't see who you are. You can do that all day long. But to insult me instead of answering a question that I asked in order to engage in conversation, and you just fly off the handle and call me an idiot, you have some insecurities, buddy. So I made an Instagram story about him, tagged him in the Instagram story, and told him how I felt and how he made me feel. I hope he enjoys it. Spicy day, like I said. Now, I'm sitting in traffic on 880 trying to get from San Jose to Fremont. It's 3:30. This is like the worst traffic I've really ever been in on 880, it feels like, frankly. The toll just went up as I'm sitting here. Look at this. It's $17. Friday morning. 5:15. I woke up at 3. I don't even remember falling asleep last night. Fell asleep at the same time as my son, probably like 7:45, and then I woke up at 12:30. My phone's still in my pocket, dead. Just, the normal. That feels like the normal when I'm responsible for putting my son to bed now. This is how it goes, is I just fall asleep at the same time as him and wake up at 3 to make up for it, which is fine. I'm still getting like 7.5 hours of sleep doing that. But the falling asleep completely unprepared to fall asleep thing I need to fix. I need to work on. Basically, put him to bed, plug my phone in, make sure I'm ready for bed, set my phone to sleep mode so that it tracks my sleep data and all that. And then go and like hang out with him as he's falling asleep, basically. I didn't do that. So, been here for a couple hours already this morning, but the Wi-Fi went out this morning. Comcast has an outage in this area, and my ability to have patience is like a negative number. So I'm using my hotspot. The Fremont location here is kind of a cell dead zone inside the building. My office where I sit especially is right next to the door here, so it's actually somewhat usable. And I'm hotspotting, trying to do accounting, and QuickBooks Online kind of requires a lot of internet bandwidth. I tried to download ads that Hamilton edited yesterday that we shot for the San Jose shop. Ugh. painful, man. Like I hate waiting. I click a button on my computer and I wait. Fucking painful, man. And I'm sitting here just like, I got nothing to do besides what I'm engaged in with my computer. And I can't even really use like my phone to distract myself in the meantime because it needs to be focused on being a hotspot. But it is the end of February. We had a pretty abysmal sales month, considering we beat January. We beat January by $2,000. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, right? We beat January. That's great. No, wait, we had a fourth shop in February. San Jose, in its first month, did $18,963 in total sales. Rough. That is pretty rough. A lot of work needs to be done there. But so if you do the math, pretty much every other shop had a record low month also. Fremont, 60 grand, record low for Fremont, 33, so that's whatever. But Campbell, 57, San Ramon, 48. I think our gross profit's going to be okay. But we straight up just did not make enough money overall to like make up for anything here. So yeah, we'll be losing by the end of February here for sure, 100% chance. Mostly driven by San Jose. Painful month for sure. Painful month. Pissed off, just like my anger is high this morning because of this internet thing. But yeah, so I guess when I was walking in here and I was thinking about what I wanted to shoot for this clip today, and the thing I wanted to talk about really is that my patience is a double-edged sword. My lack of ability to exercise patience. I do have patience in that, you know, I know I'm not where I need to be in life yet, not even remotely close to the goals that Driven Auto Care has, that We Are Driven has, that my consulting business has, that I personally have. I'm not there yet. But patience, you know, I recognize that, and I can kind of hang on and know that it's on the way, that I'm doing the right things today in order to achieve things tomorrow. But if I do know that something can happen today, then I pull out all the stops to make it happen today. And that is expensive, let me tell you. I've grown from one shop in 2023 to 5 shops in less than 3 years. And that is a expensive proposition. I pay a lot of money for things to be fast. I'll just say that. And so then when things aren't fast, it feels extra expensive and worthless expense to spend money on things when they're not fast. And in general, I know I'm doing things the expensive way by doing them fast, but I also know that doing things fast brings more money in. So that's what I'm thinking about today. And I figured I could do a whole video on this, but that's enough for now. That's all for now. Saturday morning. It's about 5:30, and I'll update you folks on the spicy Land Rover lady customer first. She left a 1-star review, which I responded to. I think I mentioned that in the last video on Thursday. And I got into the shop this morning and saw that in our shop management system, I had a litany of texts from her saying that we slandered her and mischaracterized her in the review response. So I responded to her over text, and then I went and kind of wanted to reread everything I wrote in there to make sure, because admittedly I did kind of call her out and basically say you are a distraught and desperate person looking for someone to blame in a difficult time in your life. That's harsh, I admit. And so I went to go try to delete or edit the comment, and it was gone. So then I realized, oh wait, we got a couple other 1-star reviews recently, and I went to look at those, and they were also gone. So that's cool. I don't know exactly what happened there, but like 3 1-star reviews disappeared, which is great. Yeah, and now I got a weekend of accounting close tasks here. I'm gonna try to get the books closed before the end of this coming week and get all the inventory squared away again. This will be the first month where we actually do the inventory at the end of the month. All the managers got it done on Thursday. So yeah, I'm trying to get everything done, trying to get everything closed out. We did not do well in February, I already mentioned that. Got a bunch more ads running this morning also for San Jose. Hamilton got those done. Yeah. I mentioned in videos a while back, there was this guy Spencer who used to work for me, and he then got hired by Schwartz Advisors, which is a company I work with for the consulting work that I do. And then he got let go from Schwartz Advisors, and he's been without a job for about 6 months. And he actually came to visit yesterday and is hopefully getting another job soon, which I'm happy about. And it also gave me a chance to reflect on the path that my consulting business is on and how bad it is. And that I do want to change something about that, and that I should probably be spending more dedicated, intentional time on things that truly make me money personally, instead of trying to build We Are Driven and investing significantly more money than I'm making out of it. I've made $1,400 so far this year and spent $28,000. So not great. This is 12,000 of that, rent and the utilities and everything that goes into this space. So yeah, this is always going to be expensive, but I should be able to afford it. And right now I'm not. I'm just investing a lot of money into something that I don't have a very strong revenue engine behind. And this week that's going to change, between expanding We Are Driven and the Driven Network back to a national virtual program, and also getting more intentional with my consulting business as well to try to get some more revenue in from there. So that's what I got so far. And I guess the last thing is we got 3 cars in here that are for sale, as you're aware. They'll go on auction soon. And I'm considering whether I want an E90 daily or I want this F80 daily. This thing is full of amenities, which is very nice. It's factory stuff, heated steering wheel, heated seats, CarPlay. It's 600 horsepower. Like, it is a very, very nice car to drive. But I'm trying to think, if I spent the same money on a nice E90, would I have a better experience with it? And I don't really know the answer to that. As long as the E90 had heated seats, which I've never had in one of my E9X cars, then I'd probably be okay with it. That was the main reason I'm selling the one I've got, is because it doesn't have heated seats. And when it's cold out, that car is brutal to drive. So, Arun has too many cars, trying to sell off some of them. And I don't know what to do with that E46 M3 back there also. That's super sunk cost. I'm into it super deep, and it still has a lot of problems, and maybe I should just cut my losses on that. But I'm keeping my W8s. I like the W8s. I've changed my mind on that. Can't buy another one. That's all for now.